Hello! Always happy to meet a dwarf. And one from the Lonely Mountain, if I'm not mistaken.
I am Faran of Erebor, and we've met before, Bilbo Baggins.
Have we now? Oh, I'm afraid I don't recall. But you'll have to forgive me. I've grown somewhat forgetful lately.
We met upon your last visit to Erebor. I guess that was near 20 years ago now. And before that, I had the honor of sharing the field with you at the Battle of Five Armies. That was my first real taste of battle. I was hardly more than a lad at the time, but it was a glorious day.
Oh, yes, the Battle of the Five Armies. A nasty business, that. Personally, I'm glad those days are behind us. But then again, it seems as if they may not be. Everything seems to be pointing to some dark times ahead. Speaking of which, I'm told that you and your friends did a great deal to help my Frodo and the Dunedain reach Rivendell safely. You'll have to tell me all about it one of these days so I can write it down properly.
Write it down? Are you a chronicler as well as a hero?
A chronicler? Oh, no more of an enthusiastic scribbler, really. History is just one of my interests. Lately, I've been working on poetry mostly. Say, maybe you could help me with that. I'm writing a poem for Aragorn, and I'm a bit stuck on a line or two.
Are you now? Well then, let me hear what you have.
Very well, very well. The verse that's giving me trouble runs like this. The light from the west is rekindled. Forth from Imladris it springs. Renewed is the hope that has dwindled.
The light from the west is rekindled. Forth from Imladris it springs. Renewed is the hope that has dwindled. To challenge the Lord of the Rings.
Hey now, that's not bad, no. Maybe I can work with that. You missed your calling, my friend. Perhaps you should put down your weapons and take up a pen.
The enemy won't be stopped by poetry, I'm afraid.
Oh, I'm afraid you're right, but since these old hands are not much use with the sword, I'll just keep on with the pen. Though I'll need some help. Perhaps you could show this to the Lady Arwen. She has her people's gift with words, and this touches her deeply after all.
I'll take it to her.
Ah, thanks very much. Be sure to give her my compliments, won't you?
I'll be sure to do that. Farewell, Bilbo.
Farin, my lad, by my beard, it's good to see you again. When you left Erebor to stand guard on the Shire, Gimli and I feared we might be seeing the last of you. Now I hear you stood with the Rangers in the battle against the Nazgul at Sarn Ford, and bested an orc chieftain at Fornost. Good work!
I can't take all the credit. I had Andriel, an elf of Rivendell, and the ranger, Erodan, at my back.
Reminds me of the old days when dwarves, elves, and men fought together in the Battle of the Five Armies.
It does my heart good to see you, kinsman. But something dire must have happened to bring you all the way here.
All is well enough at the mountain, don't fear. The enemy's servant makes threats, but we will stand fast. Gimli is hereabouts, and he can give you the details. We came at the bidding of King Dane. With the enemy seeking news of Bilbo, Dane thought we should come to Elrond for counsel. I never imagined what I'd learn when we got here, but it may be wise to say no more.
Gandalf has told us of Frodo's burden. It's no wonder Sauron's messenger came to us looking for news of hobbits.
Alas, that we should live in such times. Well, Frodo knows what he must do. If I were younger, I'd go with him. But we must each serve where we are most needed, even as you must, with some...
And where's that? Where would you have me go? Back to Erebor?
That's plain as the beard on my face. It's right here, of course. You've uncovered a deadly enemy in this Agandaur. As long as he's free to carry out Sauron's will, he'll gather more orcs, goblins, and trolls to his banner. Rivendell, the Shire, the Brelands, no place will be safe from his wrath. He must be stopped.
And besides, it wouldn't hurt to keep Sauron a little distracted. If we keep him second-guessing his plans for the conquest of the North, it could only help Frodo in the long run.
That's my thoughts upon the matter, too. Be the stinging fly in the ointment, as it were. Only this fly's sting will be deadly. And it's time to be about your business. Goodbye, and good luck to you.
Welcome, Dwarf of the Lonely Mountain. Welcome to Imladris. Are you in need of anything to help you in your travels? I have many things in my keeping that might serve you well.
Hello. You are foreign, aren't you? I was hoping I would get a chance to speak with you.
Hi, and you must be Frodo Baggins. Aragorn and Gandalf have told me all about you, and the burden you bear.
Likewise, they have told me all about you. I wanted to thank you and your friends for all you did to keep us safe on our journey to Rivendell.
Ah, you're most welcome, lad. Just happy to have been of service. Especially after we learned how important our task really was.
It seems as if I owe everyone thanks. You, Aragorn, Elrond. Without the help of each of you, I wouldn't be here now.
We should be thanking you. It took a lot of courage to get past everything that stood between here and the Shire.
Thank you for saying so, but I don't feel brave, just very fortunate.
Don't sell yourself short, lad. I hear you chose to be the one to bear the ring into Mordor. You can't get much braver than that.
I'll try to bear that in mind. I only hope I can measure up to everyone's expectations.
Will you tell me about your journey here? Sounds as if it were a rough one.
We had trouble almost from the start. The Black Riders were always just behind us, and we nearly met disaster in the Burrow Downs, at Bree, and again at Weathertop.
What happened at this place called Weathertop?
We were attacked by 5 of the Black Riders. I was foolish, and I put on the ring. One of them wounded me before Aragorn managed to drive them away. The knife that was used against me left a shard in the wound. From what Gandalf has told me, the fragment was working its way inward. If it had reached my heart, I would have become a wraith under the power of the Black Riders. Fortunately, we were able to reach Rivendell in time for Elrond's healing arts to save me.
You've got hidden strength in you. Like all your kind, it seems. I think you will do us all proud. Good luck to you, and all who go with you. Gimli, son of Glóin! This is a happy meeting. But what brings you to Rivendell? What has passed for good or ill since I left the mountain?
Aye, and it's good to see you again, kinsman. I've heard of your exploits at Sarnford and Fornast. They sing your praises here. After you left to aid in the protection of the Shire, the foul messenger from Mordor returned yet again with more threats. King Dain thought it best to seek advice from Elrond. He chose Glóin to speak for him. When my father set out, I refused to be left behind, as happened with Thorin's quest. You were there at the Battle of the Five Armies, while I was left to cool my heels at the hearthside. Well, not this time. I go with the hobbit Frodo and his chosen 9, even if one of them must be a wood elf.
Who's this wood elf you spoke of? It's a long way from the forests of Mirkwood.
Legolas is his name. A fair-haired princeling and son to King Thranduil. Elrond has chosen him to represent the kindred of elves in Frodo's party. His purpose in Rivendell was to report that they'd let a prisoner escape. An easier escape than my father had when they held him in their dungeons.
Come, Gimli, that's an old grudge, and not even your own. The elves of Mirkwood fought and died alongside us in the Battle of Five Armies, and my new friend, Andriel, has saved my hide more than once.
Aye, true enough. For Frodo's sake, I must bear the company of Legolas and make the best of it. Perhaps he won't be entirely insufferable. And besides, we've enough to worry about as it is, what with this Agandaur skulking about in the north.
We killed an orc chieftain and drove Agandaur from his stronghold. What worries you about the north?
Before we left, we heard that Mordor was stirring up the Easterlings. But should they be foolish enough to move against King Brand of Dale, they'll find King Dain of Erebor standing fast at his side. But every step of the way here, we heard rumor of new gatherings of orcs and goblins and worse things. And though the fearful count every enemy twice, there may be some truth to it. You found such enemies at Fornast. When Sauron strikes, there will be more than one land that feels his wrath. I fear for the Shire and Rivendell, but my heart would rest more easily if I knew you kept watch over them. If Thorin of the Lonely Mountain defends the north, then no enemy can prevail.
You don't ask much, but my friends and I will do what we can. If you can bear the honor of the dwarves on your quest, I can do no less here. You have my word on it. You don't look like any elf of Rivendell. I'd wager you are one of the wood elves of Mirkwood.
You are correct. I am Legolas, son of Thranduil, king of the Woodland Realm. And I believe you are a dwarf of the Lonely Mountain.
That's right. I'm Farin of Erebor. Strange meeting a wood elf here, when I so seldom see them at home.
It is true. The distance between our two realms is not great. Yet it seems we seldom have dealings with your folk.
If things are cold between our folk, it is not the fault of the dwarves.
Oh? I had not heard the fault lies with the elves.
Oh, let me refresh your memory then. Your father imprisoned our king, Thorin Oakenshield, when he found him lost and starving in Mirkwood.
Your Thorin refused to give a good account of himself. We who dwell in Mirkwood do not keep our borders safe by trusting every ragged wanderer who trespasses in our realm.
So, now you insult one of our most revered kings. If I were not a guest in an elf lord's hall, I would have more to say about that.
As usual, you overreact. Dwarves and their stiff necks. You may be useful allies at need, but I will never understand how anyone could be friends with a dwarf.
The sun shines and all is fair and peaceful here in Imladris. A far cry from the blood and dust of Fornost, is it not? You and your companions did very well there. Indeed, things might have gone badly for us had you not been there. You have earned some time to recover from the toils of battle and hard travel. And I believe you will find no place better for the restoration of body and spirit than this, our home.
It's a pleasant enough place, all right. But I've already promised to search the Ettenmoors for any sign of the enemy. How about you? You don't seem like the type to sit idle for long.
No, indeed. We are to set off at once on a similar mission to your own. Only we will travel south, seeking for signs of the Nazgul or other threats. Aragorn will accompany us at least part of the way.
Farewell, and luck be with you.
Farin, it is good of you to seek me out. You're a stout dwarf, like all of Durin's folk, and your courageous deeds have shown your worth.
When we first spoke, you said you recently passed through the Ettenmoors. Can you tell me anything more of them?
It is a rough and empty land, home to many trolls. I passed through with great haste, for I needed to reach Rivendell as quickly as I could.
You said there was no sign of trolls.
I saw neither trolls nor fresh signs of them, and that disturbs me more than encountering one. I doubt they've all packed up and left. Mindless brute creatures they may be, yet they can be used and driven to even greater wickedness by a strong enough hand. Agendaur could well be forming them into an army.
Do you think he's mustering the trolls for an attack?
That is my fear. I would gladly be proven wrong, but my heart misgives me that somewhere in the Ettenmoors, you will find them gathering and being prepared for war. We must know. Such a force could be sent against Rivendell, perhaps in hopes of capturing the ring.
I'll get my friends and we'll head for the moors. If there's something to find, we'll find it.
Greetings to you, Farin. Many times in the past have I welcomed your kin to my home, The bond between our kindred has at times been shaken, yet it has never been broken. Always before, I have placed my trust in Durin's folk, and never have they betrayed it. You will always be welcome here in Imladris, my friend. Yet I am certain you did not come here merely to exchange pleasantries. That is not the dwarven way. Do you have questions for me?
I found this scroll at Fornost. I think maybe you should take a look at it.
A wise decision. This is writ in the black speech of Mordor, a language I will not utter here. It is intended to instruct the reader in the use of dark sorceries.
We faced orcs at Fornost who used spells against us.
Then it seems this has already been put to use. That is grim news. The Dark Lord is a master of necromancy and other foul sorceries. He has taught these abominations to men in the past, but never, to my knowledge, to orcs.
Good thing we captured this, then. What will you do with it?
I will destroy this scroll, at the very least. But wait, here I discover more. Listen to what is written herein. Scribed by the hand of Agandaur, disciple of the great Lord Sauron, for the empowerment of his servant Wulfrun and those others of his faithful who prove worthy. I will speak no more of these blasphemies, but it does say that this scroll is one of 7 such works.
So there are 6 more of these accursed things. Maybe we can find them all.
That would be a great service to our cause. Should you recover them all, bring them to me, and I will ensure they are destroyed.
You can count on that.
In the meantime, please accept this in appreciation for bringing this matter to my attention. Perhaps it will be of service to you in your travels.
My thanks to you. Farewell for now.
Ah, Farin, I am glad you are here. I feel I must apologize to you. When I was told a dwarf had appeared on the borders of the Shire asking to join the Dunedain in their watch, I was suspicious. I instructed Halbarad to keep a careful eye upon you, fearing you were a spy. Clearly he grew to trust you, and after all you have done, I have as well. I am sorry to...
Oh, there's no need to apologize. After seeing firsthand what you Rangers have to contend with, I think you're right to be suspicious.
Perhaps. But we should also remember there are others in the world who are willing to serve. I am glad you chose to do so.
So, you go now to claim the throne of Gondor.
Above all, I go to help Frodo fulfill his quest. For unless the ring is destroyed, Gondor will soon fall. King or no king.
Good luck to you.
Even in strange surroundings, you can trust a dwarf to find his way to a forge. You are welcome in my smithy, Farin of Erebor.
My Govannen, well met and welcome to the safe haven of Imladris.
My thanks. I'm much honored to meet you, Lady Arwen.
Durin's folk are welcome here. You have endured great danger and given us urgent warning of a new threat to the north. For this, we honor you, Farin.
Well, it was nothing, lady. It's nice of you fair folk to welcome a dwarf.
You show the modesty worthy of a hero. Estelle and my brothers have spoken highly of your courage at Fornost, and I thank you for your part in seeing to my brother's safe return. Please, take your ease and rest a while in our halls. You will find all your heart could desire, whether it be food, drink, song, or storytelling.
Bilbo asked for help with a poem. I'm fond enough of the dwarvish sort of poetry, but this elvish verse is beyond me. He asked for your help, saying the subject is a matter very close to your heart.
Then it must be about Estelle. He is fond of writing verses in honor of his good friend, and therefore often comes to me for advice. You may leave it with me, Farin. I will give it some thought and answer him myself.
Thank you, that's a relief. It's not for a dwarf to be writing lines about the kings of men. And anyway, I have little time to spare for poetry. Your father has asked me to scout the Etten Moors.
Then I will not keep you, but we may be of service to one another. I am helping my father brew a potion known as Miraval. One sip of Miraval can renew heart and soul, and bring new vigor to weary limbs. I am in short supply of certain rare ingredients that may be found in the Etten Moors. If I gave you a list of the ingredients, perhaps you could bring any you find while carrying out your mission. With enough ingredients, I will return the favor by brewing an extra flask that you may have for your own use.
That's a generous offer, Lady Arwen. I'll keep an eye out for what you need and bring it back once I finish scouting around. This is rough country, no mistake. But so far, we've seen no sign of trouble.
But the moors stretch on for many leagues. It would be easy to miss something in these rugged crags and valleys.
Let us continue the search, but be wary. More than one ranger has been lost in these wild lands.
Greetings, my friends. I could scarce believe what I saw from above. But elf, dwarf, and man battling the enemy together, such things are not often seen. I knew it had to be you.
Belarom, it is a strange coincidence that we should meet again so soon. I did not think to find you here in the Ettenmoors.
Nor did I. It does seem a strange coincidence, but a happy one, nonetheless.
You really took care of that troll. I'm glad you're on our side.
It is not the first time I have had to contend with troll kind. Yet we have accounted for but a few leaves in a forest of foes. Orcs and trolls are gathering in great numbers to follow in the wake of Bar Grisar, a treacherous stone giant. The foul folk respect his strength, and this unites them to
a stone giant? I've heard of them, but I rather hope the stories were just that. Stories.
No, the stone giants certainly do exist, but they are seldom seen beyond the highest mountain vales. I was never told they were hostile to our kind, however.
They seldom are. Eagles and the stone giants have shared the mountain heights without conflict for many generations. But this giant, Bagrisar, is different. Without provocation, he ambushed some of our people, taking them unaware and striking them down with hurled boulders. Many of our areas he also destroyed, along with the defenseless fledglings who nested there. Gwaihir summoned his strength to punish the giant, but he fled before us. We believe he has come here to the Ettenmoors, where he is gathering an army of orcs and trolls. Bagrisar is a threat to all. The sooner he is destroyed, the safer we shall be.
You're scouting, huh? Does that mean there are more eagles nearby?
My lord, Gwaihir, is gathering his strength. There will soon be many of my kind in the Ettenmoors. We must destroy Bagrisar. The sooner the better.
Any chance there will be more than one giant to deal with?
I do not believe so, for we have learned Bagrisar is an outcast among his own kind. They disowned him for past crimes, and will offer him no protection from our vengeance.
An enemy of yours is an enemy of ours. We'll join with you in the hunt for this giant.
Your aid would be most welcome. Together we may be able to best him. Every hour he lives, his following grows greater. Let us press on!
What have we here?
archers! On the high ground!
The glint of gold. We need to pass that gate!
They have trapped us!
I see movement in the trees.
We must work together to overcome these odds.
We can continue our journey.
This cave stinks of troll. I sense a weakness in this wall. I can open a way through it. Ah, a vein of gold.
These caves are extensive.
To my side!
There are archers ahead.
I'll have to wait. Needs more What have we here?
At last, I see sunlight ahead.
my people are avenged.
And behold, here come your kin.
My lord.
It would appear that you have done our work for us, Balaram.
Not I, Lord Gwaihir. Your thanks belong to these three. Andriel, Farin, and Aradan. It is they who rid us of Baghrasar.
The same three that saved you at Fornost.
Indeed. A remarkable chance that we should meet again.
If chance it was, your fates seem strangely intertwined. But be that as it may, we are doubly grateful to you. First for saving the life of Balaram, and now for slaying the giant. Are there more stone giants to deal with? There are other giants, certainly, but none that we would consider an enemy. Baghrasar was ever inclined to mischief, and was shunned by his own folk. Yet I never thought him capable of murder. He must have been persuaded to undertake these actions.
We have discovered signs that Agandar has been here in the Ettenmoors, that same servant of the Dark Lord that we encountered at Fornost.
Then we need look no further for the source of Baghrasar's corruption. But how is it you chose to search these remote moors for Agandar? Elrond Half-Elfin sent us. He had a feeling the enemy might be gathering here. I will not question the wisdom of Master Elrond. He sees much that is hidden from others. Yet I fear you have come too late to find Agandar. We have searched the Ettenmoors thoroughly in our hunt for Baghrasar, yet we have seen no sign of this servant of the Dark Lord. If he was here, we can be reasonably certain he is here no longer. My people will work to disperse the enemy forces that remain in the moors. We will be on guard against the return of Agandar.
Then we should return to Elrond at Imladris. He will be anxious for news, and we have already been long away.
I will arrange for a messenger.
My lord, I owe my life to these three, and I too believe Agandar to be a grave threat to the free peoples of the North, Eagles no less so than any other. If you would grant me leave, I wish to accompany them and aid them in their quest.
You ask a great deal, Balaram. I may have need for all my followers soon. Yet I perceive a great destiny awaits these three, and it seems you are now part of it. Very well. I will grant you permission to join with them for as long as you see fit.
Unless Balaram plans to carry his friends like sheep in his talons, he will need help. If it pleases you, my lord, I will gladly accompany them as well.
I too have a stake in this quest. Let me be the third.
So be it. Three who cleave the air to match three who walk the earth. May fortune favor you all. Arminel, Barenthor, you shall be at Balaram's command. Obey his word until such time as you return to us. Now I must depart. Many forces are at work across Middle-earth, and many events take shape. I must consider what part the Eagles will play in them. Farewell wherever you fare, Lord Gwaihir.
You return at last. We grew concerned for you. I fear you have missed your chance to say farewell to the members of the Fellowship, for they have departed. Clearly you found danger in the Ettenmoors, yet you have returned safely, and in the company of three of the great eagles, no less. There is a story behind this, and I am eager to hear it.
We found trolls and orcs preparing for war, just as we had feared. and they were led by a renegade stone giant.
He had made attacks against Gwaihir's people.
With the help of the eagle Belarom, we were able to make an end of the giant.
That was well done, but this is troubling. Why would a stone giant act in this manner? They have never been hostile to free folk before.
We took these tokens from some of our fallen foes.
Some of them bear the Black Raven emblem of Agandar.
Then we can be certain he is behind the giant's descent into evil. But there are also other tokens here I recognize. These are the marks of the orcs of Mount Gundabad, far to the north.
Maybe Agandaur is hiding out there, at Gundabad.
It may well be. From Mount Gundabad, the orcs have many tunnels and secret pathways connecting the hidden mines and orc holes of the Misty Mountains. The orcs can move along those routes in great numbers without being seen. If Agandaur is raising an army to fight for his master in the north, it is certain he will have traveled to Gundabad. The evidence you have uncovered confirms this to be so. We have no way of knowing if he is there still.
Perhaps not. But we should not sit idle waiting for him to begin the war on his terms. At the very least, we might learn what the orcs are planning.
To walk into such an orc-infested pit as Mount Gundabad would seem like folly. But you have proven your skill and daring many times over. And too, you have the eagles to aid you. It may be that you will find a way to take the enemy by surprise. It is certain that, were you to destroy Agandaur, you would cut the heart from Sauron's plan to make war in the north.
But what about Frodo? Maybe we'd be better off doing something to help him on his quest.
That die is cast. We must abide the consequences, for good or ill. There is nothing more we here can do but to look to our own defense.
And we'll do that by ridding ourselves of Agandaur. We're off to Mount Gundabad.
Your courage is commendable, but be certain you are well prepared. Mount Gundabad will not be forgiving of the unwary. Farewell, and may the stars shine upon your path.